Okay, so today we are continuing with forward contract, and we'll see a question where exact premium is not given. So we'll have to find out the premium. So in this problem, a 3 months premium is given, a 12 months premium is given. Okay, and they have not given a 5-month premium, but they're expecting a 5-month forward contract. Okay, let us see. We'll solve it logically. We'll solve this logically with simple mathematic technique. Okay, so spot rate. What is spot rate? Spot rate is given as 1.135. I'll just copy this down. Okay, so spot rate is 1.135. So 3 months premium gives me 3 months forward rate. So spot rate plus 3 months premium gives me 3-month forward rate. Similarly, spot rate, I always calculate from spot rate, guys. I'll always calculate from spot rate. Don't calculate from a 3-month forward contract. If you calculate 3-month forward contract plus 12-month premium, it will give you 15-month premium. Okay, so calculation is always supposed to be from spot rate. Spot rate plus 12 months premium will give me 12-month forward contract, 12-month forward rate. Okay, so spot rate is 1.135. 3 months premium is 0.017. Okay, so this will be equal to, and prices are expected to increase. They have given in the problem prices are expected to increase, so we add it. Okay, if the prices were expected to decrease, we would have deducted. Okay, so that gives me 3-month forward rate. That gives me the 3-month forward rate. Okay, similarly, again spot rate is 1.135. Okay, 12 months premium they have given in the problem. 12 months premium is 0.045. Prices are expected to increase, so this will be 1.135 plus 0.045, 1.18. Okay, so I know that my 3-month forward rate is 1.152, correct, and my 12-month forward rate is 1.18. Okay, and I am expected to calculate a 5-month forward rate. Okay, that's what I want to do. Over here. Okay, so first thing, 3 months to 12 months. The difference is how much? Difference is 9 months. Okay, now 3 months to 5 months. I'm just doing a timeline over here. Okay, so I'm just calculating differences for these 4, correct? So difference between 3 months to 12 months is 9 months. Difference between 3 months to 5 months is what? It is 2 months out of the total 9 months. 3 to 5 will be 2 months out of the total 9 months, correct? And 5 to 12, it will be what? 7 months out of the total 9 months. 7 months out of the total 9 months. Okay, understood what I did? I just wrote these in a timeline. Okay, and I just wrote what is the difference. So 3 to 5 will be what? 3 to 5 will be 2 months difference out of the total 9 months difference, and 5 to 12 will be 7 months difference out of the again total 12 months difference. Okay, so now I'll just write this again and I'll just cross multiply. So copy, paste, and copy, paste. Okay, and find out the average. So average will be what? Average will be cross multiply 1.152 into 7 by 9, 1.152 into 7 by 9 plus 1.18 into 2 by 9, 1.18 into 2 by 9. Okay, the mathematical logic of finding out the average. So what I'll do, I'll just cross multiply them. 1.152 into 7 by 9 plus 1.18 into 2 by 9. Okay, I'll get the mid rate. Okay, so correct? So my total will be this amount plus this amount. So 1.1567, 1.156. It should be between 1.152 and 1.18. Correct? So my 5-month forward, will be 1.156. Okay, see if you understood this. So first calculate whatever is given. First try and calculate whatever is given. Okay. Then just form a timeline and calculate the difference of the months. Once you have the figures, cross multiply them. Once you have the figures, cross multiply them. Okay, we'll try one more sum. Spot rate of yen per dollar is given as 140.75 slash 152 point, or let us just take one-way quote right now. In the next sum I'll give you a two-way quote. Okay, 4 months premium is given as 9 point, or I can say 12.87. okay, 11 months premium is given as 7.87. okay, prices are expected to decrease. Calculate a 7-month premium. Calculate a 7-month forward rate for yen per dollar. Do it then. Put your answers in the group chat. And in the exam, you'll have to show this working. Huh? In the exam, you'll have to show this working. Okay, 130.01. So prices are expected to decrease. So that will be 140.75 minus 12.87 will give me 4-month forward rate. 140.75 minus 7.87 will give me 132.88. Okay. So calculate then. Let us see. So we have got a 4-month forward rate. We have got a 4 months forward rate. How much is that? 127.88. 127.88. Okay. Then we have 11 months forward rate. 132.88. And what are we expected to have? So the difference is 11 minus 4, that is 7 months. Difference is 7 months, and we are expected to calculate a 7-month forward rate. We are also expected to calculate a 7-month forward rate. Okay, so 4 months to 7 months, what is the difference? Difference will be 3 months out of 7 months. Difference will be 3 months out of 7 months, correct? And 7 month to 11 month, so difference will be 4 months out of 7 months. Difference will be 4 months out of 7 months, correct? So I just drop a timeline again here, correct? 4 month to 11 month. So actual difference is 7 months. Okay. And we want the forward rate also in between exactly 7-month forward rate we want. So here also we'll write 7 months. So 4 to 7, difference will be 3 months out of the total 7 months. And here 7 to 11, difference will be 4 months out of the total 7 months. Now just cross multiply them to get the mid rate. Mathematics, this is simple mathematics then. I want a mid rate, so I'll cross multiply. So that will be 127.8 into 4 by 7 and plus 132.88 into 3 by 7. Add it up. So that will be this amount plus this amount. 130.02 is the correct answer. 130.02 is the correct answer. Okay. See if you understood this. And obviously this is yen. This is yen per dollar. This will be yen per dollar. Okay. So now let us complicate these things. Let us complicate the forward contract calculation now. Any doubt till here? Anyone has any doubt? Calculation doubt? If you have calculation doubt, you can ask me. I can explain it once again, no problem. Okay, last part. I'll explain the last part again. Okay. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to have a cross multiplication. See, I want a mid rate, right? I don't want 3 months rate, and neither do I want this 4-month rate. Okay. So I have 4-month rate and 11-month rate, and I want the mid rate. Okay. So what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to take a average of these 4. I'm supposed to take an average of these 4. Okay. But since 7 month is in between, it is a mid rate. Okay. So you have to cross multiply these figures. You have to cross multiply these figures. So I'll do 127.88 into 4 by 7. Correct. This amount 127.88 into 4 by 7 plus 132.88 into 3 by 7. So that's what I did. 127.88 into 4 by 7 gives me 73.07 and plus 132.88 into 3 by 7 gives me 56. Add them up, you'll get the proper average. Okay. Okay. So let us do one more question now. Now I'll give a two-way quote. I'll give a two-way quote now. So whatever I have taught from yesterday, you will use that logic to solve this problem. You'll use that logic to solve this problem. Okay. Okay. Let us take one problem then. An Australian firm entered into a contract to import goods from a US firm invoiced at 140,000 US dollars. 140,000 US dollars. Okay. They also entered into another transaction to export goods after production to another US company in the same currency, in the same time frame, another US company within the same time frame and invoiced at 2,30,000 Australian dollars. 2,30,000 Australian dollars. Okay. The current spot rate is equal to Australian dollars per US dollar. Will take Australian dollar per US dollar. Let me check the rate. That is 1 US dollar in Australian dollars. 1.44. So 1.4425 slash 1.5253. That is the current spot rate. Okay. The import is payable within 6 months. Okay. And exports are receivable also within 6 months. Okay. A 2 months premium is given as 0.0153 slash 0.0163. Okay. And 8 months premium or 9 months premium is given as 0.0174 0.0169 slash 0.0184. Okay. Calculate the net amount that the Australian firm will record in its books of accounts in 6 months time. Okay, do this. Let us see if we are able to do it. Okay, so the doubt is, okay, I'll not answer that doubt because we have already solved that. So that's the trick in the question. So you guys first try this, then we'll see how to do it. The question is correct. I want the net amount that Australian firm will record in 6 months time. Okay, so I want the answer in Australian dollars. I want the answer in Australian dollars. So apply all the concepts that we have learned from yesterday. Apply all these concepts because it is a two-way quote. Because it is a two-way quote. We have not solved this type of question. Huh? We have not solved this type of question. But apply the logic. Apply the logic. Okay, so the doubt is, are the prices expected to increase or decrease? That is also there in the problem. Okay, that is also there in the problem. It is not given, but you can still find it out. It is not given, but you can still find it out. I explained that concept yesterday. The hint is look at the premium. Look at the premium and you will know. Okay, another doubt is we cannot net off because the currency isn't same. Okay, that is up to you guys how to do it. That is up to you guys how to do it. Correct, netting off will not be there because one amount is in US dollar, another amount is in Australian dollars. So we cannot net off. So what to do, you guys decide. So net off cannot be done, that is correct. Net off cannot be done, that is correct. Yes, Aishwarya, what is the doubt? Okay, so the answer is 204218 yen or Australian dollars. $204218. I want the final amount, net amount that Australian firm will record in its books of accounts in 6 months time. In 6 months time. I have purposefully given this confusing problem because it will clear all the concepts. It will clear all the concepts that we have done till now. Okay. The answer is 103232 Australian dollars. Okay. Let us check. Let us check the answers. Okay. Any other answer? Profit of 14,008 Australian dollars. Profit of 14008 Australian dollars. Okay. Okay. So we are getting different answers. Okay. None of your answers are matching. Everyone is giving different answer. So if the company, if the director appoints you guys as ACCAs or CAs, okay, he will be confused what exactly I want to do because everyone is giving a different answer. Let us check. Let us check whose answer is correct. Let us check whose answer is correct. Okay. Okay. So the first thing, if I'm an Australian company, and invoice is in Australian dollars, correct? I will not hedge it. I will not hedge it using forward contract. Simple. I will not hedge it using the forward contract because I use hedging. I'll use the forward contract only for what? I'll use forward contract only for foreign currency. Okay. I will not hedge anything which is in home currency. Okay. So no need of hedging the home currency. So hedging will be used. Hedging will be used. Will be used only for what? Only for foreign currency. Only for foreign currency. That is only for your, how much was that amount in US dollars? 140,000 US dollars. So hedging will be used only for 140,000 US dollars. Okay. Simple logical concept. Okay. That if I am invoicing in home currency, I don't need to worry. If I'm invoicing in home currency, I don't need to worry. I'll not use any hedging method. Okay. Because I am not going to convert. I'm already in Australian dollars. If my amount is already in Australian dollars, I don't need to convert it again, right? So I'll let that be. I'll let that be in Australian dollars. Okay. That's the first thing. Okay. Now, so now I want to hedge for this only 1,40,000 USD payable. I want to hedge for this 1,40,000 USD payable. Okay. So now the current spot rate is given, 2 months premium is given, 9 months premium is given, but everything is given in the two-way quote. Okay. So if premium is in increasing order, if the premium is in increasing order, what do? We add the premium. Here also premium is in increasing order. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll add the premium. We'll add the premium, correct? So now I'll get 2-month and 9-month rate. Okay, so the spot rate. So let us calculate 2-month spot rate. 2-month spot rate will be what? It will be 0.0153 slash 0. Oh, sorry, not that is not the spot rate. The spot rate is 1.4425 slash 1.5253, correct? 2 months premium. 2 months premium is what? 0.0153 and 0.0163, correct? So that will give me what? That will give me a 2-month forward rate. That will give me a 2-month forward rate. And similarly, I'll do it for 9-month also. I'll do it for 9-month also. So spot rate remains same. Spot rate is 1.4425 and 1.5253, correct? And my 9-month premium was given as 0.0169 and 0.0184, correct? So that will give me what? That will give me a 9-month forward rate. Okay, what are we going to do with the premium? We are going to add the premiums. We are going to add the premiums. So that will be this amount plus this amount. This is a two-way quote. This is a two-way quote, correct? So these are the amounts that I've got. These are the amounts that I've got. 1.4578, 1.4594. So my 2-month forward rate is 2-month forward rate is 1.4578 slash 1.5416, and my 9-month forward rate is 1.4594 slash 1.5437. Okay, now before we start taking out our 6-month rate, I want the rate to be 6 months, right? I want the rate to be 6 months. So before that, I want it to be a one-way quote. So now I will apply my logic of direct quote and indirect quote. Okay, so for an Australian firm, the amount is given as what? $1 equal to so and so Australian dollars. Okay, so this amount is given as $1 equal to XYZ Australian dollars. That is how the amount is given, correct? So for an Australian company, I just write it over here. So for Australian company, the quote is given as $1 equal to, for Australian company, the quote is given as $1 equal to so and so Australian dollars. So foreign currency is in 1 unit. So it becomes a direct quote. Okay, what is the rule of direct quote? Buy at higher and sell at lower. Okay, are we buying or are we selling? $1,40,000 we have imported. We are imported goods. So we'll have to pay in dollars, pay in US dollars, correct? So we'll have to buy dollars. And buying at what rate? Buying at higher rate that we have already established above. Okay, so now I know out of this two-way quote, which rate I am going to take? I am going to take the higher rate. So 2-month forward rate is what? 2-month forward rate is 1.5416 and 9-month forward rate is 1.5437. Okay, why we are adding the premium? Premium was in increasing order, 0.0153 and 0.0163. Premium is in increasing order, so add premium. If premium was in decreasing order, we would have deducted premium. Okay, so now I have got this entire problem now I got in one way quote. Okay, and now what amount I need? I need a 6-month forward rate. I need a 6 months forward rate. That you guys already know how to do it. Okay, so that will be what? I'll again start up a timeline. Okay, 2-month forward rate. Oops. 2-month forward rate. 9-month forward rate. Correct. So difference will be what? Difference will be 7 months. Difference will be 7 months. And what I want a 6-month forward rate. I want a 6 months forward rate. Correct. I want a 6-month forward rate. So what is the 2-month forward rate? 2-month forward rate was 1.416. 9-month forward rate was 1.5437. Okay. 2 months to 6 months. 2 months to 6 months is how much? It is 4 months out of 7 months. 2 months to 6 months will be 4 months out of the total 7 months. 6 months to 9 months will be 3 months out of the total 7 months. It will be 3 months out of the total 7 months. So this was 4 months out of 7 months. Okay. So now I want mid rate. So I'll cross multiply. I want the mid rate. So I'll cross multiply these. Okay. And what is the other one? 1.5437. Correct. So mid rate will be what? Mid rate will be 1.5416 cross multiply into 3 by 7. Correct. Plus 1.5437 into 4 by 7. So finally I have got my 6-month forward rate to be this amount plus this amount, 1.5428. Just check if 1.5428 is between 1.5416 and 1.5437. Between 16 and 37. 28 is between 16 and 37. So if you understood till here, then we'll move forward. If anyone has any doubt till here, I can explain it again. I cannot solve this problem with a two-way quota. So I wanted to convert the two-way quote to one-way quote. I wanted to convert this to a one-way quote. So I used my direct quote, indirect quote logic. I have used my direct quote, indirect quote logic. Correct. For Australian company, the rate was given as 1 USD equal to so and so Australian dollars. So foreign currency was in 1 unit. So direct quote, and the logic will be buy at higher and sell at lower. The rule will be buy at higher and sell at lower. Since we are importing goods, we have to buy dollars to pay our liability. Correct. So that's why we have taken the higher rate. That's why we have taken the higher rate. That's why we have taken the higher rate. Okay. Once you have these higher rates, then you can draw up a timeline and find out the 6-month rate. That's what we have done. 6 months forward rate. Okay. So now we know that 1 US dollar is equal to 1.5428 Australian dollars. Okay. How many US dollars we have? Our contract amount is 1,40,000. US dollars equal to how many Australian dollars? So that will be 1,40,000 into 1.5428, 21, 2,15,992 Australian dollars. But that is the import amount. That is the import amount. Because 1,40,000 was import, right? So 2,15,992 Australian dollars is the import amount. Okay. But we also know the export amount. Export is already given in Australian dollars only. Export was already given in Australian dollars, right? 2,30,000 Australian dollars. It was already given in Australian dollars. Okay. So net amount to be recorded. Net amount to be recorded will be what? Will be 2,30,000 minus 2,15,992. So 14,008 Australian dollars net amount to be recorded as export, So that is a profit, correct? So I think someone had given the correct answer. Okay, 14,008 Australian dollars profit. That was the correct answer. So only Ragini got it right. So this question sums up everything that we have learned from yesterday. Okay. So this question will sum up everything that we have learned from yesterday. Direct quote, indirect quote, netting and matching. Okay. One-way quote and two-way quote. And mid-month premium also we have accounted for. Mid-month premium. Anyone has any doubt, simple doubt, silly doubt, calculation doubt, ask me. I can explain it once again, no problem. So here we have not netting, we are not netting off first. Here we are calculating the amount first and then we are netting off because the currency is different. If currency was same, then we would have done the netting first and calculation later on, conversion later on. Okay. So doubt is, do we need to show the months difference as working note in exam? Yes, yes. Because working note will carry answer unless it is an objective type question. Okay. Then you don't need to show the working. But if it is a section C question, you will need to show the working. You will need to show the working. Okay, done till here. So that is the maximum level of difficulty they will ask for a forward question in your exam. Okay. So here I have combined all the concepts together. Probably ACCA will not do that. Even the CA Institute will not do that. Okay. But still, we don't want to take a risk. So we have combined all our forward concepts in one single problem. Okay. You can revise this problem before going to the exam. You can revise this problem. So you'll able to understand everything in a forward contract. Okay. And anyways, I'm uploading these videos on YouTube. Okay. I'm uploading these videos on YouTube. So you can revise through that also. You can revise through that also. Okay. Yes. Now let us move on to the next concept. Now let us move on to the concept of money market. I hope there is no doubt till here. So the second method of hedging, now we'll go on to the second method of hedging, that is the money market hedge. That is the money market hedge. Okay. Again, this is only logical. There is no specific formula for money market. Okay. It is completely on the basis of logic. Let us understand it then. Money market. As I said before, money market is not a derivative market. Okay. It is not a derivative market. Okay. If it is not a derivative market, then what are we supposed to do? We do not have a pre-decided rate. We do not have a pre-decided rate. Correct. That means all the conversions will be done at spot rate. Will be done at the spot rate. All the conversions will be done at the spot rate. Okay. So if you are converting at spot rate, okay, there is still risk. So risk still exists. Okay. And so we use interest rates because we are talking about money market, right? Money market means what? Borrowing and depositing. Money market means borrowing and depositing. So we use interest rate to hedge our risk. Correct. So in money market, we do not have a pre-decided rate like a forward contract. Okay. So forward contract, it was very easy. Calculate the forward rate, apply the forward rate. Done. Calculate the forward rate and apply the forward rate. That was your forward contract. That was a derivative market. Okay. But in money market, okay, pre-decided rate is not given. So all conversions will be done at spot rate. Okay. And since it is spot rate, there will be still risk. So to net off this risk, okay, to nullify this risk, we are going to use the interest rates, that is the money market. Okay. And money market means what? Money market means borrowing and depositing from the banks. Borrowing and depositing from the banks. That is the concept of money market. Okay. So let us understand how we are going to do it. Okay. I'll directly start with an example. Okay. So please pay attention. Money market is only about borrowing and depositing. So let us understand how we are going to do it. Okay. So let us take Indian company and US company. So Indian company has borrowed or is payable. Let us say Indian company has imported goods from US company worth $40,000 worth $40,000 payable in 3 months time. Okay. The current spot rate is, let us take a direct quote. So current spot rate is 1 USD is equal to 78 rupees. 1 USD equal to 78 rupees. Okay. And 3-month forward rate is not given. 3-month forward rate is not given. We are not using a forward contract. So 3 months forward rate is not given. Neither the premium is given nor the forward rate is given. Okay. The interest rates are in USA, the interest rates are 4%/6% per annum. Interest rates will always be per annum. And in India, the interest rates are a little bit higher. So interest rates are 5.5% and let us say 8%. 5.5% and 8% per annum. Okay. So now we are going to use these interest rates. To convert this $40,000 in Indian rupees after 3 months time. Okay. So calculate amount to be recorded in Indian company's books. after 3 months, using money market hedge, using the money market hedge. I'll just write MMH, using the money market hedge. Okay, let us do this then. Let us do this question. Let us understand how banks will help us conversion at spot rate. Okay, I only have today's rate. Conversion I am only going to do at today's rate. Okay, so I don't have any other rate. I don't have 3 months rate, 8 months rate, 2 months rate, whatever. Okay, so this conversion has to be today. So this $40,000 also has to be in today's terms. This $40,000 has to be in today's terms. So I am going to use the concept of present value. I'll use the concept of present value. Okay, so let us take this in Excel. So we have a payable sum. Since we are importing means we are payable $40,000. We are payable $40,000 in 3 months time. In 3 months time, we are payable $40,000 in 3 months time. Correct? The rates, let us just copy down the rates also. And the rates are so and so. USA 4%/6%, India 5.5%/8%. Okay, so now see as step 1, what I'm going to do in step 1. I'm payable in USA. I'm payable $40,000 in USA after 3 months time. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to counter this payable by creating an asset. I don't have a future rate. Now I don't have a future rate. So step 1 is counter the payable, that is counter the liability. Payable means a liability, right? So I have to counter the liability. So if I want to counter, nullify the liability, what I'll do, I'll create an asset. Where? In USA, because my payable is in USA, so I'll create an asset also in USA. Okay, so see, it was a payable sum. If it was a receivable sum, it would have been other way around. If you have a receivable, that is if you have an asset, you will create a liability. Okay, so we are using a logic to do our hedging. Okay, so I have a payable in USA. So to nullify that, I am going to create an asset in USA. If you are creating an asset means what? Means you are going to deposit in USA. Correct? We are going to deposit in USA. So we have to use what? We have to use US deposit rate. There are rates given for USA as well as the rates are given for India. Okay, so we are going to use the USA deposit rate. Now two rates are given, 4%/6%. Two rates are given. Correct? We always know that bank is the winner. So if you borrow money from the bank, you will borrow at higher rate. If you deposit money with the bank, you will deposit the money at lower rate. So if 4%/6% is given, means what? Your lower rate is always the deposit rate, always, and higher rate is always the borrowing rate. Higher rate is always the borrowing rate. Okay, they can also give it as 6%/4%. They can give the rate as 6%/4%. Still the meaning is same. Lower rate is the deposit rate, higher rate is the borrowing rate. Okay, so we are creating an asset, means we are going to deposit in USA. So we'll use the US deposit rate. US deposit rate is what? It is 4% per annum. 4% per annum. Okay, but I don't want per annum. I want for what? The contract is only for 3 months. So we'll calculate a 3-month deposit rate. So 3-month deposit rate is equal to what? Will be 4% into 3/12. 4% into 3/12. Correct? So that will be 4 into 3/12, 1%. That will be 1% per annum. Sorry, 1% for 3 months. Okay, so that will be 1% for 3 months. So if you understood step 1, so I'll explain this once again. We are importing the goods. Okay, so we'll be payable $40,000 after 3 months time, and 3 months forward rate is not known. Okay, so we have to apply some other technique for conversion. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have a liability. I am payable means I have a liability. To nullify this liability, okay, to make this liability zero, I'll do what? I'll do the exactly opposite. I'll create an asset in USA. Okay, why in USA? Because I was payable in USA. So I'll also create an asset in USA. Creating an asset means depositing the money. Okay, so I'll have to use USA deposit rate. So USA deposit means lower rate. So that is 4% per annum. But my contract is only for 3 months. So I want deposit rate for 3 months. So that will be 4% into 3 by 12. So that will be 1% for 3 months. Correct? So now see the meaning. See the meaning. When I'm going to deposit the amount, I'm going to deposit the amount today, because conversion rate is only applicable for today. Only today's conversion rate is given. Okay. So company wants to know how much amount it will invest today, so that it will receive $40,000 after 3 months at 1% interest rate, 1% deposit rate. Okay, so can I say 40,000 is what I want after 3 months? Okay, so 40,000 is the future value. 40,000 is the future value. Okay, so I want to calculate what should I deposit today. So I want to calculate what is my present value. Okay, so that will be what? You know the formula, present value equal to future value into 1 upon 1 plus r. We don't need to do raised to n, because that we have already converted over here into 3 months. Correct? So present value equal to future value into 1 upon 1 plus r. Okay, why am I calculating present value? See the logic. Why am I calculating the present value? Because I only have today's rate. I don't have the rate after 3 months. $40,000 is what I'll need after 3 months, right? So after 3 months, I know the amount is $40,000. I want the amount as of today, because I only have today's rate. That is the whole problem in your money market. A future rate is not known. Okay, a future rate is not known. So all the things I have to do as of today. So that's why I'm calculating the present value. And present value formula is, you already know this formula. Present value equal to future value into 1 upon 1 plus r. So now present value equal to what is the future value? 40,000. Correct? Into 40,000 into 1 upon 1 plus r. What is my r? R is 1%, right? 1% means what? 0.01. R is in percent. So that will be 40,000 into 1 upon 1.01. That is $39,603. $39,603. That is my step 1. See if you understood the step 1. So in step 1, to simplify what I have done in step 1, I calculated the present value of payables. Correct? Present value of payables using counter country counter country, or I can say foreign country, using the foreign country deposit rate. Foreign country deposit rate. That's it. Okay. So step one is calculate the present value. Why present value? Because I only have today's exchange rate. So I have calculated the present value of payables using foreign country deposit rate. It was payable, so we used deposit rate. It was payables, so we used the deposit rate. If it was receivable, we would have used the borrowing rate. Okay, got this? Next. But I am an Indian company. I am an Indian company. So what I'll need? I need to convert dollars to home currency. Convert dollars to home currency. Using what? Using spot rate, because that is the only rate I have. But can I use spot rate? Of course I can use spot rate. Why? Because now this $40,000 I have got in present value. I have got in today's term. So for today's term, I can use the spot rate. Okay. That was the whole concept. Okay. In step 2, I had to convert, right? But conversion, only spot rate was there. So that's why I had to calculate this present value. So it is already at present value. So I can simply use the spot rate. So that will be what? That will be 1 USD is equal to how much? How much was our rate? ₹78. Correct. 1 USD was 78 rupees. Okay. So now how many dollars we have? Now don't take 40,000. Huh? Now how many dollars we have? These many dollars equal to how many rupees? Okay. So that will be this into 78. So that will give me the amount in rupees. So 3,89,108 rupees. 3,89,108 rupees. So I know that in rupees terms, I'll need 3,89,108 rupees. So that is a step 2. I have converted the dollars because I'm an Indian company. I wanted the amount in rupees. Okay, and conversion becomes simple because we have the spot rate, and in step 1 we had already calculated the present value. Okay, so step 2 was simple. What was step 2? Convert into home currency using spot rate. Convert into home currency using the spot rate. Okay, but now see the problem. Huh? I don't have these many rupees right now with me. I don't have this amount. This is a huge amount. This is a 3 million amount. I don't have this amount. So step 3 will be what? Step 3 will be borrow the amount from Indian bank. Borrow the amount from Indian bank. Okay, because I have to come up with this amount somehow, right? I have to come up with this amount somehow. So I'll borrow the amount from the Indian bank. If you are borrowing, you will take what? Indian interest rate of borrowing. Indian interest rate of borrowing. So what is the Indian interest rate of borrowing? India interest rate of borrowing. Borrowing means what? Higher rate means what? 8%. Okay, so that is 8% per annum. 8% will be per annum. But I don't want per annum. I want what? I want for 3 months. So for 3 months, it will be 8 into 3 by 12. 3 by 12. That is equal to 2%. That will be equal to 2%. Okay, see, the logic was you are creating an asset in USA, right? You are creating an asset in USA. Okay, so to create that asset, you will need money, na? To create an asset, you will need money. So where will that money come from? It is easier to borrow in home currency rather than borrowing in USA. It is easier for us to borrow in home currency. So that's why step 3 we are borrowing in home currency. If you are borrowing in home currency means what? We'll use the India interest rate at 2%. Okay. So how much we have borrowed? So we have borrowed 3,89,108 rupees borrowed at 2% for 3 months. 2% for 3 months. Correct. So therefore, final contract amount will be what? Will be your borrowed money, correct, plus interest, means what? Means you are doing nothing but calculating, that is I am calculating future value of the borrowed amount. I am calculating the future value of the borrowed amount. Okay, so future value equal to what? Future value equal to present value into 1 plus r. Present value into 1 plus r. Okay, so future value is equal to, what is the present value? Present value was this, 3,89,108 rupees, correct, into what is 1 plus r? So 1 plus r is 2%, right? So 0.02, this will be into, so future value equal to this amount into this amount. So 315,0890, 3,150,890 rupees is my final amount. Okay, or you can do it this way also. Borrowed money is what? Borrowed money is 308,9108, correct, plus interest is what? Interest is this amount into 2%. The same thing, it's the same thing. So total will be what? Total will be this plus this. It's come out to same, correct? It's coming out to same. Okay, so that was the whole logic. So now I'll just simplify this in 3 simple steps. I'll just simplify and formulate this in 3 simple steps. I did not want to just give the formula. Okay, so we needed to understand the logic first behind money market. So see, in step 1, what we did? Step 1. So let us say if it is a payable sum, what happens? And if it is a receivable sums, what happens? So if it is a payable sum, step 1, what you will do? You will calculate the present value of payable. You will calculate the present value of payable using foreign country deposit rate. That is step 1. Okay. Step 2 is what? Convert the step 1 amount using spot rate. And step 3 is what? Calculate the future value of step 2 amount using home currency borrowing rate. That's it. So the formula will be in 3 simple steps. So next sum you can directly do with these 3 steps. Okay, you don't need to explain everything in the exam. In exam, you can directly do it with this. So this is in the case of payable, right? This is in the case of payable. If it is a receivable sum, what happens? Step 1, calculate present value of receivables. Calculate the present value of receivable. Now using foreign currency borrowing rate. Okay, because the logic will be, we have a receivable, that is we have an asset. So to nullify this asset, we'll create a liability. If you are creating a liability, you are borrowing in foreign currency. Okay. Step 2 will be simple, same. Convert step 1 amount using the spot rate. That remains same. Step 2 remains same. And step 3, calculate the future value of step 2 amount. Now using what? Using home currency. You had borrowed in foreign currency, so you will deposit in home currency. Deposit rate. That's it. So you can use this formula for your payable or receivable sum. Okay, you don't need to show the entire logic that I showed you before. Okay, that logic was for understanding the money market. Okay, that logic was for understanding the money market. Write this down. If it is a payable sum, this is what you will do using money market. If it is a receivable sum, this is what you will do using a money market. Okay, and we'll solve one sum. We'll solve one sum on payable as well as on receivable. So I can write the logic over here. Payable means what? Liability. It was we have a liability. We have liability. Correct. So what we do? We counter by creating asset. So we'll counter it by asset. Since we are countering by asset, we'll use deposit rate in step 1. And since we are depositing in step 1, we'll use borrowing rate in step 3. That is the whole logic behind it. Okay. And here, what was the logic? If we are receivable, we have asset. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll counter by creating a liability. If we are creating a liability, means what? We borrow in step 1. If we are borrowing in step 1, we deposit in step 3. Okay. So your sum will be solved using these 3 simple steps. Just see if you're understanding why we are using deposit rate and why we are using borrowing rate. Okay. So when to use deposit in step 1 and borrowing in step 3, and when to use borrowing in step 1 and depositing in step 3. So that logic also you write down. That logic also you guys write it down. Okay. So let us solve one problem then. So Kevin's company has imported, so Kevin's company and Indian company has imported goods from Mayank's company, a US company, invoiced in $250,000, payable in 3 months time, okay, and it has, and Kevin has also exported goods to Mayank, invoiced in $320,000, okay, receivable, because it is an export receivable, in 4 months time. So time frame is different, guys. Time frame is different, so you cannot net off. You'll have to solve both the questions separately. One will be a payable question, one will be a receivable question. Okay. Now, the US interest rates are 5% and 6.5%. Okay, and the India interest rates are 6.2% and 7.5%. Okay, the current spot rate is 1 USD is equal to 78 rupees. 1 USD equal to 78 rupees. Okay, calculate the amount Kevin will show in his books. For both the transactions. Do it then. So one is a receivable question, one is a payable question. The formula you have over here, the formulas you have it over here. So do it separately for payable. Why we have to do it separately? You understood now? Because one is payable in 3 months and another is receivable in 4 months. Okay, so we cannot net off receivable against payable because time frame is different. Even though invoice currency is same, time frame is different. So we cannot net it off. Do it then and put the answers in the group. What is the answer for payable and what is the answer for receivable? Okay, so we are getting the answers. Payable 262.31 rupees, receivable 574.302 rupees. Okay, okay. Let us check. So can you net off those amounts later on? Payable and receivable in rupees. Once you get the amount in rupees, can you net it off later on? We cannot net it off because months are different. Correct. Time frame is different, so we cannot net the rupees also. Okay, so we can do it over here only. So let us do the payable sum first. How much is payable? $250,000 is payable. So if you have the steps, it will be very easy. So step one is what? Foreign currency deposit rate. If we are a payable sum, we want to use foreign currency deposit rate. So for Indian company, foreign currency is US. So US deposit rate means the lower rate. So that is 5% per annum. 5% per annum. Correct. So that will be what? That will be 5 into payable is 3 by 12, right? 3 by 12. So 1.25%. So this will be done at 1.25%, right? 1.25%. So my present value formula I can put present value equal to future value into 1 by 1 plus r, 1 by 1 plus r, right? So that will be what is the payable value? What is the payable value is 2,50,000. 2,50,000 into 1 by what is the r? 1.25, right? So 1 plus r. 1 plus r means 1 plus 0.125. So 1.0125. That's it. Step one. That's the step one in dollars. That will be in dollars. Correct. So now we don't need to show the entire logic, guys. Now we don't need to show the entire logic. Because payable, we know payable was 2,50,000. We know payable was 2,50,000. Correct. That 2,50,000 is in 3 months time. So 2,50,000 in 3 months time we are doing for that. So we are using deposit rate of the foreign currency. So foreign currency is USA, US dollars. Deposit rate means lower rate. So it is 5%. Okay. So 5% is per annum. So I want for what? 1.25 will be for 3 months. So 5% was per annum. I calculated for 3 months. Okay. So present value formula is simple. Future value into 1 upon 1 plus r. So future value means what? Future value means your payable value. Correct. So payable value into 1 upon 1 plus r. R was 1.25. So 1.25%. So 1.25 divided by 100. So 0.0125. So 1 plus 0.0125. So I can directly write it down like this. Okay. Now converted at spot rate. What is the spot rate? Spot rate is 78 rupees. 78 rupees. Correct. $1 equal to $1, 1 USD equal to 78 rupees. Okay, so multiply. So it will be this into 78, this into 78. This will be rupees, this will be rupees. Correct. And now calculate future value using home currency borrowing rate. So home currency is India. India borrowing rate means India higher rate. Higher rate of India is what? 7.5%. So 7.5% per annum. 7.5% per annum. I don't want per annum. I want for 3 months. We are doing the payable sum. So 3 months. So 1.875. So future value equal to what? Future value equal to present value into 1 plus R. 1 plus R. So that will be, this is the present value into 1 plus R. So 1.01875. See if you understood this. So foreign currency deposit rate. Since we are doing a payable sum, foreign currency, USA deposit rate was 5%. Correct, but 5% was for per annum. We converted to 3 months. So present value equal to future value into 1 upon 1 plus R. That is 2,50,000 into 1 upon 1 plus R. So that is 2,46,000. Okay. That 2,46 I converted at spot rate. Spot rate is given. Spot rate is given 78. Spot rate is 78. So multiply 2,46 into 78. That gives me the amount in rupees. Okay. So now what I want to do? I want to calculate future value using borrowing rate, because deposit rate in step 1, so borrowing rate in step 3, but home currency borrowing rate. So home currency means India. India borrowing rate means higher rate, 7.5%. So 7.5% is per annum. I want for 3 months. So 7.5 into 3 by 12. And future value equal to present value into 1 plus R. So present value was these many rupees into 1 plus R. So 1 plus 1.875%. So that is the final amount in rupees. Okay. Final amount in rupees. Why you guys are getting the wrong amounts? Check your answers, guys. Check your answers. Oops. Okay. Now let us do it for receivable. Receivable amount is different, month is different. Huh? Receivable amount is 3,20,000 and months is 4 months. Okay. So since we are receivable means what? We'll create an asset. Sorry, we have an asset, we create a liability. So borrowing rate. So foreign currency borrowing rate. Foreign currency borrowing rate means what? USA borrowing rate, that is 6.5%. 6.5% per annum. I don't want per annum. I want for 4 months now. Now again, don't take for 3 months. Now again, don't take it for 3 months. Huh? Now this time I want for 4 months. So for 4 months will be what? 6.5 into 4 by 12. 2.166. Okay. Present value formula remains same. Correct. So that will be Now future value we have receivable amount is 3,20,000. So that will be 3,20,000 into 1 upon 1 plus R. So 1 upon 1 plus R. R is 2.16 upon 100, right? So 0.216, 0.216. So 3,20,000 present value will be so many dollars. So many dollars. R is 2.16%. So that will be 2.16 by 100, 0.216. So 1 plus 0.216, that is 1.0216. Or you can take this as 66667, whatever. So 313,213. Now convert at spot rate. Spot rate is 1 USD equal to 78 rupees. 78 rupees. So this is simple. This into 78. I got the amount in rupees now. I got this amount in rupees. Now calculate future value of step 2 using home currency deposit rate. Home currency means India. Deposit rate means lower rate. So it is 6.2%. But that is per annum. I want for 4 months. So for 4 months will be 6.2 into 4 by 12. Into 4 by 12. Future value formula remains same. So that will be this amount into 1.020667 rupees. Check your answers, guys. Check your answers. Rounding of difference, that is okay. Rounding of difference is okay. No problem. And that is why you can do it in Excel also. No? If you do it in Excel, there will be no rounding of difference. You can directly take this amount divided by 100. You can link it. You can link it. Okay. Revise the money market today. And I'll give a homework question. I'll give a homework question now where one sum will be asked by forward contract as well as money market. And they will ask you which one is better. Which one is better. Anyone has any doubt in calculation, ask me. Okay, if anything is not understood, ask me. I can explain it once again. Okay, so the doubt is, can you explain receivable logic once more when you have time? Okay, so I'll just explain it now only. Na? We have a receivable. Okay, we are going to receive money in the future. That means what? We'll have an asset in future. Okay, so I want to what? I don't have a 4 months forward rate now, so I will counter it by creating a liability. If I am creating a liability, I have a receivable in USA, means what? I'll have a asset in USA. To counter this asset, I'll create a liability in USA. If I'm creating a liability in USA, means what? I am going to use borrowing rate. Okay. For asset, you use deposit rate. So for liability, you'll use borrowing rate. Correct? So for receivables, you will use borrowing rate of foreign currency. Okay. If I borrowed in USA, means what? I'll have to deposit it somewhere. If I borrowed in USA, I'll deposit in India. So in step 3, you'll use home currency deposit. Okay. So it is just about the logic, which rate to use in step 1 and which rate to use in step 3. Okay. So the next doubt is, if it is a two-way quote for spot rate, which rate to select? That is why I'm giving you a homework problem. Homework problem will be for a two-way quote. Homework problem will be for a two-way quote. And how will you solve a two-way quote problem? You will use that direct quote, indirect quote logic. You will use the direct quote, indirect quote logic. Correct? If it is a direct quote, buy at higher, sell at lower. And if it is an indirect quote, buy at lower, sell at higher. Okay. So that will be your homework question. That will be the homework question. Okay. So I'll share it here only. I'll share it on the group chat only. The homework question. Okay. And solve it on Excel. Huh? Solve this on Excel. And I want you guys to solve it as if this is a 20 marks exam problem. I want you guys to solve it as if it is a 20 marks exam problem. Okay. So I want all the details. Whatever assumptions you are going to make, whatever working notes you are going to make, you are going to send it. Sorry, you are going to write it. Okay. I send the file on the group chat, Zoom group chat. This is the question. Okay. So they have given different transactions. They have given different rates. They have given interest rate as well as they have given the forward rates. Okay. And required is show how the company can hedge its exposure to foreign exchange risk using forward contract as well as money market hedge, and determine which is the best hedging technique. Okay. So the problem you will have to solve from forward contract as well as money market. Okay. If it is a receivable, which is better? If it is a payable, which method is better? Okay. So solve this question. Tomorrow we'll solve it in the class. Tomorrow we'll solve it in the class, and tomorrow also we'll start with our futures and options. We'll start with our futures and options as well. Okay. Yeah. So I'll end the meeting now. I'll end the meeting now. Any other doubt? Anyone has any other doubt? You can ask me. No doubt. Okay then. Since there is no doubt, I'll end the meeting now. Tomorrow same time. Tomorrow 9:30. And same, this is the same recurring meeting I am keeping. So same user ID password for the meeting. Okay. Solve the homework question. Download the homework question if you want. Download this homework question, forward and money market. Okay. And solve it. Okay. Give it a try. Give it a try. Then we'll solve the same question tomorrow in the class. Okay. Okay. See you guys tomorrow.